good Tuesday evening? It's not glitchy, baby, but it is the big guy KG sitting in with the one, the only, probably next to me, the biggest Royce 5'9" fan there is, the Midnight Rider.
That's my dude.
Yeah, I love Royce 5'9". Detroit Rock City, absolute banger of an album.
What's going on, man? What we got today, man?
Oh, man, we got Joe the Fan. We got some college football. We got some things going on. But before we get to Joe the Fan, before I bring this brother down, because he felt a little left out, so he wanted to get in there. But let me give some flowers real quick. And we always have a thing about giving flowers to people when they can smell them. This first round of flowers goes to you, Midnight Rider. Coming into this thing and, you hit the ground running. And not only did you just jump on board and rock with us, but, man, it's like we've all known each other for years, the way we feed off each other, the way we interact, we talk. And here's the crazy part. We've all never sat in the same room at the same time.
Right.
But you can't tell that by the way we interact. And that type of chemistry is hard to come by. And bless you.
Thank you.
That type of chemistry is hard to come by. So this first set of flowers goes to you. Good sir.
Okay, I appreciate this.
This second set of flowers goes to none other than, even though I don't know if he on yet, but I got to give it to the boss BJ, because I don't see doing a podcast with many other people, but to be able to do what we do here, from the Sunday rise to the Tuesday night flight to the Thursday night throwdown, and then we throw in Man Cave Monday and Wind Up Wednesday and Freestyle Friday, and of course to end your week you got the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs. So to be able to do that and keep everything together, keep the guys in the truck paid, and keep everybody happy with their salary, this next batch of flowers goes to the boss BJ. But I'll say this, enough of that mushy shit. Let's get to Joe the Fan. This cat needs no introduction. Once upon a time, he was a world-class everything, He's young, but he's a good dude. He felt left out because his brother had showed up and he felt that he should have been able to get into. So we're gonna bring in the artist formerly known as Fat Daddy, because he ain't fat no more. My youngest son Xavier, he decided that he wanted to be a part of the crew tonight. So
I know his camera's gonna be off.
Well, he's standing on the balcony right about now. So
okay.
You turn your mic on, son.
Yeah, you gotta turn the mic on if you want to talk.
I'm here. Of course. Of course, the thing won't cut on as soon as I'm about to talk. So, of course.
He might have to come in because he got a reverb. He got a little vibration on his voice. On my side,
right,
it might be on your side.
It's on my side, but all right, you do the question asking. I'm gonna turn my mic off and I'll be quiet. Come on back in, kid.
All right, so since it's Joe the Fan, we always start off with the same question. The first question is a first. Like, what is your first memory, the first moment that really stood out to you in terms of sports? That made you either a fan of a team, a person, or just something that you just remember as a little kid. And if you need an example, for me, one of the first things I remember is Tony Dorsett going 99 yards for a touchdown. So, what do you have? This is when you talk.
For me, it's when Kobe played.
You might go into. You probably go into like a room. You got a room you can go into.
Yeah.
That way you're not bouncing off you.
Right now. For me, it was when Kobe played.
Okay. Is there a particular game, a particular moment, or just Kobe? Period.
Kobe period.
Okay. All right. So I might have my answer to my second question already, but I'll ask it anyway. Your favorite athlete, could be any sport. Who's your guy?
Well, I have a couple. I have two of them.
Okay. Now when you tell me the names, you gotta tell me why. You just can't say the name and just stop on me, okay?
Number one is
All right.
Kobe. Kobe because of of his mentality and how he plays the game.
Okay, you
And
said
that
you had
inspired
another one?
me. Sean Taylor.
Okay.
Sean Taylor because of how he played also. Same thing. His mentality and all that.
So all right, so Sean Taylor, how old were you when Sean Taylor was playing? Because that's like 2005, 2006, right? Dad, you can jump in.
Let me answer this. He's a big Sean Taylor fan because that was actually supposed to be his name.
Okay.
So his brother's name is Dario Tyler. His name was supposed to be Sean Taylor. So, but I was overruled. So
okay,
he saw a lot of the Sean Taylor highlights, and when I turned on my computer when he was a baby, that's the first picture you saw with Sean Taylor. When my laptop would boot up on my desktop, you saw Triple H. So that's where the Sean Taylor love comes from.
Okay. See, we did favorite athlete. We did this. All right. So you, the athlete, are you an athlete first? And then, if so, what's your sport that you play?
I'm an athlete, and I play football, basketball, and I'm trying to get into baseball.
Okay. So, what makes you want to try baseball?
Well, I started playing it, but then
Okay.
I never got to finish playing it. So,
well, you're talking to a baseball player. I played first base, played second, played short, played center field, played right field. I will tell you this: baseball has a way of picking on you. So if you're not feeling confident, you're not having a good day, I promise you the baseball will find you. I'll never forget my first game in high school. We were playing at St. John's, and my coach had this bright idea to play a left-handed kid at shortstop, which was already just me fighting against myself because it's just difficult. It's pretty much something that you don't do at higher levels. And I think I made an error on the first play. The second play, I went to go cover second, and it wasn't my job to cover second. So the ball went through exactly where I was standing at. And then like the fourth play, the ball gets hit to me on a rope, and I snag it. And when I go to throw the ball across the diamond, the ball is wedged between the web of my glove. So I was just like ready to, and then I was like 0 for 3 at the plate. I mean, it was just one of those days where I was just ready to go. Like baseball won that day. But it's a great sport, man. Baseball is great. Go ahead, KG.
Well, my question to you is, if you had your choice, not mine, we had this discussion. You got to choose what's right for you. If you had to choose any college to go to play any sports you wanted, or all three, where would you go?
Notre Dame.
I like that answer. I had the Notre Dame packet. The only problem was when you open it up, there was 10 essays. I was like, come on, dog, 10? Like, I gotta figure all 10. Nah, I don't know about that one. But all right, so here's one I want to ask because KG just brought this up. So you're playing a sport, no matter the sport, baseball, basketball, football. What's the jersey number?
Number 1.
All right, you gotta explain it, man. You can't just tell me the number and what's up with 1?
Number 1 means to me is like the greatest player on the team.
Okay. There's a number better than that. It's 10. It contains a 1, but it's number 10. Okay, I'm gonna help you out. If you do gymnastics, what's the perfect score? A 10. If you're a soccer player and you're a playmaker, what's your number? 10. Then also I wore it, so that's the other reasons.
See, I'm gonna go ahead and stop you there.
What?
I mean, number 1.
I like 1.
Wearing number 1, that's great.
I'm too big to wear 1.
I used to wear number 93.
Huh?
I wore number 1 up until 93.
Okay.
Then I switched my number over to 3 because I had a conversation with my grandmother. She said number 1's kind of selfish. So she got me off of number 1. I had to pick another number. It was number 3. Real reason at that time, it was because of Petro. And then also it was a biblical thing. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I was deep in the church then. So I was like, 3. Everybody else wears 7. I'll take 3. And from that point on, for the last 30 years, everything is done in 3s. Everything. 3 has always been. And crazy part is, I married a woman whose number is 3. So it's number of all time. So, all the greats that wore 3 at Notre Dame,
Come on, Arnaz Battle.
I'm talking about Rick Meyer. I'm talking about Joe Montana.
Okay.
Come on, Joe the fan. You got to stay with us.
All right. What you got, KG?
Hold on.
I see it
back there.
Actually, to be honest with you, I wore 3, but I think that was my first number. Playing 5th grade basketball.
Last question.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Last question.
Oh no, I get the last question.
Go ahead. Last question. Well, okay. My last question.
Yeah.
If you had to pick somebody in your circle that was the greatest athlete you ever seen, who is it? And remember what side your bread's buttered on.
I'm gonna have to go with that.
He's thinking.
That's all I'm gonna say. Midnight Rider, over to you.
Oh, no problem. So as we always do, we close out between me and you, Xavier. It's just us in the room. Who's your favorite parent? Go.
It's a hard one.
Come on. I'm messing with you, dude. Nah, I always do that to Eric. I did the same thing to Dario, man. I'm sorry. I just like messing with y'all. I was gonna see if he was gonna answer and had to take the shrapnel, man. But thanks for jumping in with us. Keep doing what you're doing. I know your dad's proud of you. You, I think, went 6-0 this weekend on the picks. So you got a mind for this, and just have fun, man. And if you take up some baseball, you have questions. I'm a Thursday night flight. I'm sorry, Thursday night whatever Thursday night is now. I can't even think of it now. Tuesday night flight, Thursday night throwdown, and a Sunday rise away from you being able to just say, "Hey, I got questions." You do just like Oscar. And if I gotta come out and meet you somewhere, I'll meet you somewhere, and we'll do some ground balls and all that stuff.
Okay, that would be cool.
All right, man.
All right,
KG.
thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for showing up. I guess you can get back to playing your Call of Duty or whatever it is that you're playing, and just keep it down. And we got shows to do.
Be careful with that commute.
I will.
All right.
Uh-oh. The boss BJ checking in. He say, I'm taking this to the commission. What is it to take? There's nothing to take there. Then he says, no first round pick for the next 3 years. What did I do? I didn't do anything. I swear I didn't. All right. Let's jump into the meat and potatoes. We call this the Tuesday Five. I'm going to throw this over to the Midnight Rider for the first part of the Tuesday Five. His top 5 college quarterbacks of the weekend. Let's go.
Whoa. This isn't the top 5 of the weekend. This is the Midnight Rider top 5. Now.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Let me do it right. I did it wrong.
No. Hold on. Give me a second, because I do want to acknowledge some quarterbacks. You guys just give me a second, because I had to jump out of something to get and watch to pick up something else. But no. So what it is my top 5 is always about the 5 guys I like, the 5 guys I think will be successful in the league. But because that is so short-sighted, and I think my top 5 isn't going to really change this year, I do want to at least acknowledge some of the quarterbacks that had a very good weekend. Also, I know you saw the picks, and I did not do that on purpose. I just want to make sure everybody has an updated version and knows what's going on. So quarterbacks that had a great weekend this weekend. I got this list from Joe the Fan last week, Scott Rivette, Scooter. So he had the top week 3 performances. Brady Cook from Missouri. Jayden Daniels, who I think he has an NFL future if he goes to Sean Payton, because he can make him his Taysom Hill. But outside of that, I just don't think the kid sees the field well at all. The next is Dylan Gabriel from Oklahoma. I don't see him as a starter in the pros. Darren Granger from Georgia State. Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. Caden Slater from Liberty. Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. Garrett Schrader from Syracuse. All had great weekends this weekend. Again, like I said, I think Jayden Daniels is a guy that is going to struggle at the next level because he doesn't know how to get the football out of his hands. Dylan Gabriel, I think that's the kid from UCF that transferred into Oklahoma. I think he's going to be good as a college quarterback. I don't think he makes it as a pros. And I say all of that to get us to the Midnight Rider top 5 college QBs. So this week, all right, so this week, the top 5 college QBs in the eyes of the Midnight Rider himself. At number 1, Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. I think he's had 3 weeks where he's gone over 400 yards. He's just been tearing everybody up. He has the best receivers in college football. And he's going to tear up the Pac-12 all year long. Number 2, Shedeur Sanders. As long as his line protects him, He has the mechanics. He has everything it takes. He does lose his best player, Travis Hunter, this week, but I think the other guys can carry them, and they're going to be okay and make it through these 3 weeks without Travis Hunter. Number 3. I know it's a shocker he's not one, but it's my man Quinn Ewers from Texas. He had a little bit of a down week, but they really didn't need him that much this week. So that's why I have him at 3. Number 4, Drake May. I still think he's a better pro prospect than number 5, who was Caleb Williams. I still, as much as I've watched Caleb Williams, and this might be blasphemous to some people, I still haven't seen him really make a throw on time. So for me to see him and think about him as a pro, I just don't think he projects well. I think he's going to run around, and I think he's going to get beat up as a pro. He has to start learning how to take profits, dump the ball off, and make some things happen. Otherwise, he'll be in the league for a short time, not a long time. So that's why Caleb Williams is my 5. Any questions?
I just want to know why the boss BJ keeps saying tampering. I don't know what we tampering with. I mean, if I'm being accused of tampering, one thing I'm going to say, if I'm accused of tampering, is Caleb Williams. I have no confidence. Granted, the kid's he's vicious. Think about USC quarterbacks. Don't matter who the coach is. How many of them, the best USC quarterback to make it to the league is who?
Carson Palmer.
Rodney Peete.
Carson Palmer.
Rodney Peete had a better career.
Okay.
I mean, I'm talking about when it's all said and done. Are we talking college career? Then we talking a pro career.
I'm telling you right now, if I got to start a quarterback from those two in a ball game, I'm taking Carson Palmer.
Which Carson Palmer are we talking? Are we talking early Cincinnati Carson Palmer?
Yeah, even Raiders Carson Palmer. I'm taking that too.
I'll say that, but I got to give love. Okay,
I
got to give love to Rodney Peete, but Rodney Peete, in my opinion, is the best overall prospect to come out of USC at quarterback. I never really liked Lionel. I thought his game was mediocre at best. Carson Palmer, yeah, because he had all he needed was a better run game in Cincinnati. He had the receivers, and he had 3 receivers and Ocho Cinco, Housha Mazzilli, and Chris Henry.
Whoa. Houshmandzadeh.
I know it's Houshmandzadeh.
I know you know that, but come on, you can't. See, he's a proud member of my fantasy team for many years, so we cannot disrespect the name of Houshmandzadeh, man.
No, but see, I'm a TJ Houshmandzadeh fan because I like that fantasy commercial where the dude was like, TJ, how's your mama?
Right.
Hey, how's your Mazzilli? Yeah, but Houshmandzadeh, I've been a fan of his for years. I thought at one point in time, don't crucify me for this, I thought him and Ocho Cinco with Carson Palmer was probably 2 of the most exciting receiver duos of the time. And I think of if you say of the 2000s, those dudes were just they were good. But Caleb Williams, this is what we talking about. Caleb Williams. I'm not really sold on him. I'm not. If it's buy low, sell high, he not low enough for me to buy right now.
But you're going to buy him high. You're not buying him. He's probably going to get taken first or second in this draft, no matter what. And because there's going to be the one guy, the one GM that's going to have the owner, who likes to stick his nose in the business, likes to go off of what he's seen, likes to sell tickets, and that's where you get Caleb Williams at. I just want to see the kid develop a little bit more. I think he has a ceiling. His ceiling can be. I had the same kind of grade on RG3. I said that he's a kid that his ceiling is 11 wins, but unfortunately, his floor is 4 or 5 because he can play so bad for your team that your team just can't. He can't get out of his own way.
Understand that.
He's a can't get right special.
Mark that down and run it. Can't get right. But here's the thing. He goes second. He goes first. He goes early in the draft. Here's the problem that you have. He's not going to a good team. And that's going to expose him right then and there. You know what I smell? I smell Jason Campbell.
Nah, I think he's going to be different than that. I think he's going to be able to run enough early.
I'm not saying skill wise. I'm not saying Jason Campbell skill wise. I'm saying Jason Campbell as in the aspect of being Jason Campbell. And we talk about it all the time where you can't have any continuity. Jason Campbell's career would have been way different if he had the continuity. And this is what I fear of young quarterbacks not having the continuity to really flourish in these systems.
Well, I think the other problem is people, they talk about these quarterbacks like the quarterbacks do it independently. Only the great quarterbacks can you give them hamburger helper and they turn it into a great pasta dish. You keep giving these young guys a poor coaching staff or a poor staff and then put them in a situation where they don't have anybody to take the pressure off of them, i.e. Justin Fields. I mean, I think that kid's lost right now. The first thing he needs is a ticket out of Chicago. He needs to go to somebody that had a high grade on him, and they fix him because he's broken. He needs to go to the Misfit Toys, go chill with Rudolph and all them. That's what he is. Yeah, he's in the land of Misfit Toys. He's not gonna get fixed this year. It's not gonna get better. The only way it gets better, and this is a guy I talk about all the time. After I talk about Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs, I talk about Roxon Johnson. That's their best running back. And until they get on that train and stop trying to play Khalil Herbert and Dante Freeman, it's going to be a struggle. Another problem is you got Chase Claypool, who again looks like Tarzan, looks like a beast. But when it comes game time, he just doesn't show. He's the invisible man. He has no effort, and that's his problem. Looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane.
You may run like Maze, but you hit like shit. Oh man! And talking about your top 5 again, Shedeur Sanders, the dude. I was high on him at Jackson State, so this is nothing new. I was high on him at Jackson State. Here's where I have a problem with Shedeur Sanders. He's not your typical quarterback, and it's a problem for me because I'm like, he has everything, and I'm like, I want to see him stay 3 years. I want to see him be a 4-year starter.
Well, he's a 3-year starter.
Huh?
He's a 3-year starter starting this year. This is his junior year.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez. You know what? When I tell you COVID messed up a lot because I'm thinking the kid's a sophomore.
No, he's a junior.
I want him to be, I know he's probably going to skate after this year. He should have won the Heisman last year. He should have been at least in the voting, at least top 3.
I'll give you that. He should have been in the voting. I don't think he should have won it.
But
that's why they made this move. They made this move to get him in a spot so everybody can see him. He moves up draft boards. I think right now, if memory serves me correctly, he's in Mel Kiper's top 10.
Here's a problem for me. The Heisman committee, and this is a problem we have. We don't have the Heisman doesn't carry the same weight it used to. And that's a problem.
It's the best quarterback in the country.
Yeah, but the best quarterback in the country is supposed to win the Johnny Unitas Award.
Well, he wins that as well as the Heisman.
Yeah, because if it's a foregone conclusion. If you win as a quarterback, if you win the Maxwell Award, the Davey O'Brien Award, and the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, you definitely winning the Heisman.
Right.
That's a foregone conclusion. But the Heisman does not have that weight anymore. Where if you're the best quarterback or you're the best player in college, you're supposed to win the Heisman. They never give it to the best players. It's not the same anymore. I don't know what they're doing at the touchdown club, but seems like it's more quarterback club than anything. And I don't like that because you're missing out on defensive guys. Yeah, you may, you got trophies, you got the Butkus Award and the Outland Trophy and all that, but these guys, if you're the best player in the country, that's what the Heisman is supposed to be. And if Shedeur Sanders does win the Heisman this year and he walks, he'll be the first Heisman Trophy winner picked in the top 5 because I'm sure he's going to be a top 5 pick. What was the last Heisman Trophy winner we had picked in the top 5? Johnny Manziel?
Nah, Baker.
Baker was number. He was a Heisman Trophy.
Baker, you got Baker, you got Robert, you got Bryce. The last couple of quarterbacks that have been getting the Heisman have been taken in the top 5.
And here's the crazy thing. How have they fared in the NFL?
Well, I think people are gonna be what's the word? This might be an overreaction, but I think people are gonna be surprised at Baker this year because he's finally on a team where his receivers will actually catch the football. I thought his biggest problem in Cleveland was Jarvis Landry dropped the ball a lot on him. Odell dropped the ball on him.
And
David Njoku. Mm-hmm. Another one of those people that's built in the lab. But sometimes you might have to take them to Oz and get them a little heart. So I don't know.
All right. Let's hit the second half of this Tuesday 5.
The Tuesday 5. Tuesday 5.
We got to get that. All right. 5-pack of questions for, and we only do a 5-pack because it's Tuesday, so it's discount 5-pack. All right, here's a question for the Midnight Rider.
This is actually for both of us.
Oh,
These
okay.
questions are both of us.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I get the answer too. All right.
Yeah.
I thought I was moderating. Okay. Can Joe Burrow overcome the calf injury and the Bengals overcome 0-2?
See, I think with the Bengals, their biggest problem is their run game isn't consistent enough. So you can't hang your hat on Joe Mixon to bail Joe Burrow out right now with his legs. Ja'Marr Chase hasn't been Ja'Marr Chase these first 2 weeks. I think, if I'm not mistaken, KG, didn't you have the Bengals out of the playoffs or missing the playoffs? I don't think you picked them as a division winner. I can't remember. It was somebody that didn't pick them up.
Wild card.
Yeah, and I think you're going to be closer to being right. I think they're either the last wild card or they're out. Because what I'm seeing right now, the lack of losing their 2 safeties hurts this defense a lot more than they think. And watching Joe, he just hasn't been Joe cool yet. And I know he gets started slow, but the problem is the next 2 weeks, these are losable ball games. So you could end up looking up at Cincinnati and they're 0-3 or 0-4, and that's not going to be good.
Okay. I'm going to say this. I said this to big brother of mine, friend of mine, close ally. His response was hilarious. I said, the Bengals are Super Bowl hungover. They're still hungover. And it's not, I don't think it's as bad as the Falcons, 28-3, and being hungover, because the Falcons are still hungover for that. And I don't think anybody from that team is still in Atlanta. But there's the franchise is still hungover from losing that Super Bowl. That's number one. I think the Bengals are hungover, but I think they need to get the hair of the dog or something. Bite the dog that bit them and get back. But they play like they're just scared. Like they're still reliving that. I don't know if they overcome 0-2 to win the division. I don't think they're going to win the division at all. I think they'll overcome it to back into the playoffs as a wild card. But that's it. And I think they're out in the wild card round immediately.
Well, and then it gets scarier for them because I know they're not re-signing T. Higgins. I mean, Mike Brown may be opening up the purse strings, but he ain't cutting the purse strings open for three people. So, if you're a betting man, I wouldn't be surprised if in the first or second round, this team took a wide receiver in this draft coming up. And I think they need an offensive lineman. I mean, they just let go of Lyle Collins. Somebody asked me, does Washington pick him up? I'm like, I don't think so, because I think this is more effort based than talent based.
Yeah,
I think this man is squandering talent. If you read your Bible and you know about the guy that got the 5,000 coins, well, this man buried his 5,000 coins in the sand and came back and got them. He ain't do nothing with them. So that's how I see it, Lyle Collins.
Here's the problem with Lyle Collins. When they released him, everybody was like, well, he wasn't playing and we don't know what was wrong. He has an injury problem. He's been injured for quite some time. Then on top of that, he was on the PUP list when they released him. So he wasn't going to play the first, 9 weeks of the season?
4. It's 4 now.
Oh, it's 4 now. Okay. Here's the crazy thing. Why would Washington want to sign that? Granted, we need bodies and we need to try to find a mix. I get that. But Lyle Collins is a right tackle. What we need to sign him for if he's not going to play? It makes no sense for us to get somebody that's not going to play.
And then I think he's got some questions to answer. He's got effort questions to answer on many levels. Does he want to do this, or is he so comfortable because he got a nice little package when Dallas gave him the extension? So I mean, and then he got a little free agency money from Cincinnati. So I mean, he's not hurting at all as long as he's done the right thing with his money.
Yeah, as long as he ain't buying Lamborghinis and Ferraris and stuff and just crashing them and be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll buy another one. But I get it. Question number 2. Can MPP, Micah Parsons' problem, keep up this pace?
You know, that's a great question. Whoever gave you that, that's a great question. Don't
break your arm patting yourself on the back.
Hey, every now and then somebody needs to do a little Barry Horowitz. You know what I'm saying? But no, seriously, I think he can. And I think we talked about it on one of the shows before where I told you he went with Andrew Whitworth and he did this thing where he broke down how the left tackle or how an offensive player reacts to his movements and what he does and like what are they thinking. And I think if you look this last weekend, I mean, he destroyed them. I mean, it didn't look safe. Like, I want to hear the tape. You know how last week we had that tape of Geno when Donald broke through the middle and he was like, "Oh God!"
Mm-hmm.
I think Zach Wilson had a couple of those. They may probably have had to change Zach Wilson's game pants because I think they were wearing white and he might have had a little brown streak somewhere in there. So, yeah, I mean, he was breaking through the line, and it was like he wasn't even through his drop. He was even in the shotgun, he was like 1-2, and Micah Parsons is in his face.
I'm gonna tell you something. This is coming from me as a football fan. Only thing I would love to see Micah Parsons add is when he gets up into the tackle's chest. I would love to see him add that Reggie White hump move. You know, get that because he's strong enough to do it. He adds that to his repertoire and he starts tossing O-linemen around. We talking about probably a generational talent already. Because I fell in love with his mindset and his motor while they were on Hard Knocks, and he begged Dan Quinn not to take him out of a preseason game. He was like, "I'm just getting going. Do I have to come out?" I fell in love with that. Because there is no way, shape, or form you're gonna take him out for that. Beautiful, but then he plays for Dallas. But I'm looking past that. I'm just like, he add piece by piece every year. Because, Father Time will catch up with you. Pretty soon, you're not going to be able to run past some offensive linemen like that. So you got to start using your head and doing certain things. Now, as to your question, can he keep this pace? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This cat is going to have double-digit sacks, and I ain't talking about he's going to have 10 sacks. No, he's going to have 15 to 20 sacks this season.
I think the way he's playing, he's going to maybe be the first non-quarterback to win the MVP. So if you got a book, when we talk about books, we talking about FanDuel, especially, and they have future odds on MVP for the NFL. I would do it now.
Wait. You said first non-quarterback?
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't mean like all time. I'm talking about recently.
Okay, recently. Okay.
I apologize. I forgot who I was talking to. I was talking to the historian. Okay. Like we it's been a minute since we haven't had a QB as a league MVP.
Quite some time.
You know, I know you ready to, you got the Mark Mosley 83 racked up, ready to throw at me because of what I just said. But
no, I didn't even. Now, mind you, that's on my mind because of something I was looking at earlier, and they were talking about who was the only kicker to ever win MVP, and it was Mark Mosley. The last non-quarterback MVP is Adrian Peterson, and that he was Adrian Peterson in 2012. But before
that's the 2,000-yard season.
Yeah, that's his comeback. Yep. And then you had 05 and 06, Sean Alexander in 05, LaDainian Thompson in 06.
06, LaDainian Thompson is the 31 touchdown season.
Yeah. Terrell Davis in 98. Barry Sanders in 97.
Mm-hmm.
Emmitt Smith in 93. Thurman Thomas in 91. And of course, you got two different ones. You got AP and PFWA. But I think AP is the end all to be all, correct?
AP is the Associated Press.
Yeah, that's the end all to be all. That's what we
and the PFW is the Pro Football Writers. So press holds the most weight, but PFW does count.
Okay. I always wondered that. But I'm naming AP. So and then you go Lawrence Taylor in 86, Mosley in 82, Earl Campbell in 79, Walter Payton in 77, Larry Brown in 72, OJ in 73. You know, but this is a quarterback driven
product.
Yes. Let's talk about addiction for a minute. Hey, you. Perry say the Liberty are up by 8 in the third quarter.
Who are they playing? I forget how that series. Is that the Mystics? Because if that's the case, then the Liberty can close out the Mystics, I think, tonight.
I just wanted to tell you I'm addicted to you and I love you. And dinner is great.
I love you too.
But you gotta check out tonight's selection after the show. If you on Instagram, I think it's Miss Cayenne Inc. But yeah, I got something.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be in there for that. And Perry say, the Mystics.
I think they can close them up
in the series. Damn. Wait, the Liberty got
they got Brianna Stewart.
And they got a Nesco, don't they?
Yeah. Yep.
And she, don't get me started on her. It's a goddamn, that girl need to be locked up for the move she be pulling sometimes. I love watching her play.
Well, this is the this comes down, if this plays out like it's supposed to, it should be the Aces and the Liberty, the two biggest spenders in the WNBA.
Yeah, the Aces put together a team.
Yeah.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Aces have the best record of all time this season.
So. I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay, question number 3, because we gonna get it right there. We gonna get it. With Nick Chubb's knee injury, do the Browns have a DWP, a Deshaun Watson problem?
I watched the game last night. I'm nervous with Cleveland. I listen to Cleveland radio in the mornings, and it's hilarious because Going into Monday night, they do this thing. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I think I got the Browns going to the Super Bowl," and then everybody just jumps out and be like, "Super Bowl, Super Browns." That's their thing. It's hilarious, but this morning when I listened, all that optimism was gone out the door. So, yes, I am a terrible human being at times because I like to listen to other fan bases and their torture. And yeah, Cleveland this morning was not. I didn't listen to all of it because the Odyssey app was acting up. But what I could hear was depression on a major level, and I think they do have a Deshaun Watson problem because I don't see that guy that was in Houston. If anything, they may need to go back to that Rolodex and. I mean, if they could do it properly and without any misbehavior, maybe he need to get a couple massages or something. I don't know. I'm not encouraging this. And anything that happened allegedly. So I'm not encouraging or say it's alleged, but I'm just saying he might need to get some get right. I don't know. He might not operate best without certain things happening in his life. So I'm just saying, again, if we could do it under the confinement of the right thing, that's the best way to say it. Then
the views expressed by the Midnight Rider do not represent Sideline Junkies. These are his views, his personal views of himself. They do not represent the Sideline Junkies as a whole.
Again, I said allegedly. I just want the man to get right. Because allegedly, Perry Whitney.
Allegedly, Perry got it.
Allegedly.
And Perry said, he says, Stewart and that school, Vandersloot. Ooh, they got a fucking team. Yeah, I might be watching the WNBA finals every game. Ace's most regular season wins in history. Still not better than my comments, but they all right.
Okay, I don't know, bro.
But
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about a dynasty, but back to what we're talking about. I mean, I just think Deshaun Watson needs to figure something out because he doesn't look comfortable. And I think part of the problem, this is where we start talking about like how a guy fits into a system. I think he's a square peg in a round hole when it comes to him and Stefanski. I think Stefanski's better with a quarterback that's a drop back guy. And I think the problem is the owner wanted somebody flashy and somebody that could erase the questions of, do we have a franchise quarterback? And Deshaun Watson, in theory, answers that question. But right now, in reality, he's far from the guy he used to be. And I don't know if he can get back there because of the time off. And also because outside of Amari Cooper, I'm not throwing anybody else in their receiving core. I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones, he probably should have made a tight end. They got the kid Cedric Tillman from Tennessee. But for some reason, I saw him in the backfield a couple times last night and not out wide. So I don't know. I don't know if they know what they have. Like, I question some of the things they do. I think Jerome Ford is the kid from Cincinnati is a good fill-in, but he's not going to be Nick Chubb because Chubb breaks more tackles. Like, Chubb probably leads the league in yards after contact. So I don't think Ford can do that. So that's where another problem comes in. And then the next problem is you got DeJuan Jones, the big monster on the right side playing right tackle, as opposed to your all-pro Jack Conklin. So I think there's going to be some issues. And then really the thing that's going to help them out is their defense. So it's really going to be how much can Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett carry this team to keep them in ball games and actually win them a couple ball games.
It's four things. You started that off with what Cleveland radio, Super Browns, and Super Bowl. It's four things that stopped the Browns.
Super Bowl, Super Browns.
It's four things that stopped it. Red Right 88, the drive, the fumble. I'm sorry, 5. Red Right 88, the drive, the fumble 2, and the Browns are fucking cheap. You can't expect. Deshaun Watson is one of my guys. I'm not going to let you besmirch his name over not having any weapons. You're not going to see the guy you saw in Houston because DeAndre Hopkins is not walking through that door. Brandon Cooks is not walking through that door.
Well,
so you're not going to see what you saw and Perry said, don't forget the move. The move. That too.
mm,
You're not going to see the same Deshaun Watson in Houston because he does not have the weapons around him. Now, you got rid of Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt was probably one of your best receiving backs. Maybe not a great runner, but he was one of your best receiving backs. He's still sitting out there. You need to call him.
well, he was just FYI. He was at the Browns facility today.
Okay.
So that might be a thing that happens sooner than later. So let's not take that as something that's not going to happen. It's a possibility.
Now, what you have to do is you need to start calling teams and find a way to poach a receiver. You need another big play target. You need somebody that can stretch the field to give him a target to throw to. And Njoku is supposed to be top 10, top 15 tight end in the league. He's bottom half at best.
Mm-hmm.
He's a player that, dare I say it, is holding talent hostage. It's a problem. You expected Deshaun Watson to carry this team, but outside of the defense and Myles Garrett and those guys, what else do they have?
I give them props. Last night it looked like they tried to get Elijah Moore more involved, but still, that can't be the guy that you're counting on to be your the guy that takes the top off the roof. So it gets a little problematic for him, to be honest with you. And with Cooper with a groin, I mean, you gotta be careful with him because there's no telling what he can play through and what's going to stop him. He can stop at any point in the game. So
that's true. And Perry says, and Baltimore got 2 rings. They did. And Baltimore became one of the best franchises in the league. And they have been for the last 27 years. It was 96 when they came here. All right, question number 4. Are the LA Chargers overrated frauds? And I'm salivating at this one. Go. You got it.
Yes, and yes. Their problem is I think this is a team that doesn't believe in their head coach. And I'm going to give part of the credit for what I just said because I think my man Chris Russell, happy 50th birthday, Rooster. I think he said that early on the show, but I've been thinking it the whole time. I don't understand how a team with Derwin James, with Nick Bosa, with Allen, with Herbert, even though Eckler's hurt, you still got Joshua Kelly, you got Mike Williams, you got the kid that you drafted out of TCU last year. I think his name is Quentin Williams. I mean, you got talent across the board. There's no way you should be 0-2. No way. But it's something about this team's plan and their intestinal fortitude is why they're 0-2. And I don't know what that why is. I don't know if they can find that why. I think they're still hung over from giving up those 27 points to the Jacksonville Jaguars and letting them come back all the way. So I think that's part of their problem. Their problem is they ain't recovered yet. They still standing outside with the boombox, playing the radio in the rain, trying to tell that game from last year, baby, come back. So that's how I see it.
I asked a question, and I said, hey, what's the difference between this this LA Chargers team under Brandon Staley and the LA Chargers team under Anthony Lynn? You're getting the same fucking results.
I'm sorry.
But you are.
Hold on. If I had a bigger camera angle, I would have done the D-Wade because I feel like I just threw the alley-oop to LeBron. And I just need to put my arms out and look back as you dunk the basketball. But go ahead, man. That's what this moment feels like.
It wasn't an alley-oop. It was a pass. It was a bounce pass line.
Oh, now he wants to talk. Now he wants to talk. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm messing with you.
What he said he's a working man. He don't need to talk. Get a little job. That's what he do. But
nah, that's
2 years under Philly, 9-8. No playoffs that first year. 10-7 last year. You're 0-2 this year. Okay. Anthony Lynn. The last 3 seasons under Anthony Lynn, you were 7-9, 5-11, 12-4, and 9-7 in his first season. What's the difference? Are they overrated frauds? Yes. Perry says they can win that division though. Oh, my bad. KC is in the West. Lynn should still be coached. That's the same thing I said. I said when they fired Anthony Lynn, I said this is a dumb firing because you're making a lateral move. You finally get the quarterback that this team has been longing for. And in my honest opinion, if we really think about it, they haven't had a franchise quarterback since Drew Brees. I'm sorry, well, since Doug Flutie, because he elevated. I'm sorry.
You're the franchise quarterback. Come on, dog. I'm sorry.
I am so sorry. I am off my game. Because look, I'm thinking all the way back to like Dan Fouts. So I'm missing Phillip Rivers. But they haven't had a franchise quarterback since Phillip Rivers. And
the baby maker.
Yeah.
He's the, I don't know, touchdown maker and pregnancy baker.
Well, yeah. But that boy hurt his knee and went and had 2 more kids. I'm like, but he's a dog. But this is the quarterback they've been longing for. What did they do? They fired Anthony Lynn. As soon as he gets his quarterback, they fire him.
Well, I think part of their problem was, like, you got to remember, this league falls on narratives. And when they jump on a narrative, they ride them like their Seattle Slew, like the Secretariat. And the narrative is you want to get a young creative mind in the building. And the only problem is when you grab a quarterback first round or with your first pick, you do what the Miami Dolphins did and go get you a Mike McDaniel, who's an innovative mind on the offensive side. You don't get somebody that's a defensive guy.
True.
And right now the problem is this team don't know whether they're coming or going, or what their coach can do from this minute to the next, because they can have 4th and 4 from their own 35, and he like, let's go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no rhyme or reason, to what this kid does. And I think Brandon Staley is going to coach himself. Actually, I'm sorry, he's going to go for it on 4th down himself out of the league. Like he coaches football like he's an over aggressive Madden player.
We don't punt.
Right.
Yeah. Here's a thing that I was thinking about. I don't believe, and I'm old fashioned. You bring in your first round pick, you got to have a veteran that's there that's willing to teach and show them the ropes. Because if not, you're going to have Shane Falco on your hand.
You're absolutely right.
You can't have Shane Falco. You can't have Footsteps Falco. There are no more replacement games. Perry says, I forgot about NC State legend Phillip Rivers. Not all young creative minds can manage a team. That's true too.
Right.
And an update, it's the end of the 3rd. Mystics are down by 3.
Okay, Perry.
Jeez. All right, question number 5. Final question of the
number 5.
Sorry. Can the NFC South hold on to be the best division in football? And that question was asked because 3 out of the 4 teams are 2-0. The Carolina Panthers are the only 0-2 team. So basically, they're 6-2 within the first 2 weeks. Can they hold on to be the best division in football? Midnight Rider.
No. I mean, there's just not. When I watched last night, when I watched Carolina and the Saints play, I really wanted to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get one of the guys to do a demonstration where they paint the wall and I could just watch the paint dry, because I think I would have had a more exhilarating time than watching those two teams play offense. I couldn't wait for the Pittsburgh game to come on. And then unfortunately, when the Pittsburgh game came on, and I saw Deshaun Watson, I was like, well, you know what? Is Home Depot still open? Because maybe I can watch some more paint dry. So the good thing for me is that the couch won at some point last night, and I didn't have to watch the end of that game. But goodness gracious, I think just because of poor quarterback play, that I think this is a division where 8-9 or 9-7 is going to win a division. I haven't seen anything, and I'm gonna couch something that I said on Sunday. I said I kind of disparaged Desmond Ridder. I'm still disparaging him because I don't think he's a good quarterback, but I think he knows he does enough that team can be successful and be 9-8. And then, I mean, if y'all saw my boy B. John Robinson out there breaking ankles, and I don't know. I mean, he had people going all over the place. So
B. John moves got moves.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? B. John probably took Chuck Norris out of his boots.
You going too far now. You're going too far. They said nothing can kill Chuck Norris. He found nothing and he killed it. Please don't do that.
He ran into B. John.
Well, Perry says, no. Let me rephrase. Hell no. And he said again. But I just, it's a long season. It's a grueling season. I just don't think they can hold on long term, because I hate doing this because I feel such like an old fart. This is not going to be that year in the 70s where Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, Houston, and somebody else, they were like 10-3 against the rest of the league, and then against each other they battled each other so daggone tight it was, neck and neck, and all the teams won 10 games or more. It's not going to be that.
Well, I think these teams can actually go 3-3 in the division. I think they'll struggle against everybody else. I can't remember which divisions they're playing when they're scheduled, but I think they'll struggle, and whoever is playing against that division is going to get fattened up because they're going to get some W's. I like the Saints defense, but I think the Saints need Kamara back, and then maybe we'll see the true Saints. I thought they would get their young running backs involved, but that's not the case. And then they got Tony Jones Jr. Running the ball for him right now as the replacement. And then Carolina just doesn't have receivers. They don't have anybody out there to help Bryce Young. I don't understand that. You get a Bryce Young, and then you don't put anything around them. You had to trade DJ, and I'm not a big DJ Moore guy, but you traded DJ to get something else, and then now you got this kid out here struggling. So honestly, I think next year, I'm not a big believer in this, but they got to come out of this next draft with 2 wide receivers, and they can't come out with Joe Bucket and Jimmy No Hands. They got to come out with some stars. Right.
Okay. All right. Well, if it was left up to me, I say what I had to say. I agree with you guys. No. Last but not least, damn, they had an asthma attack Sunday evening. I thought it was the big one, Elizabeth. I couldn't catch my breath after that game. Commanders come back on the Broncos, win 35-33. Quick question. Hold on, let me check in with this. Perry say Mystics up by 3. They was tied at 59, Mystics up by 3. Was that a pass interference on the last play on that 2-point conversion?
I don't know what you're talking about. It looked like good defense to me.
I'm going to say this. If anybody feels it was a pass interference, the Washington Commanders, the Washington football team, the Washington Redskins are due for that. What was that last season against the Giants where it was an obvious pass interference that didn't get called? Not only that, the referee cheated us out of a game. Yep, we're good. Illegal procedure. We about time something starts going our damn way. I don't give a damn. But to be down 21-3, any other time, we would have cut those games off and start playing Madden, started cooking, doing everything else. Everybody sat in their seat and they just knew. And we came back and we won. When the fuck does that happen? Like, honestly, when the fuck does that ever happen?
Nah, because I gotta be full disclosure. I was on the edge. I was about to jump off the ledge. I think I made a comment in our chat about us needing a running back, and the reason I made the comment was because all day long I watched running backs bounce the ball outside, show explosiveness, and then early on, I felt like Brian Robinson just wasn't giving me that. And I know he only had like maybe 8 or 9 carries early, but I just felt like our running back position was letting us down because we didn't use vision to see the holes or the openings or the opportunities. I was frustrated with the defense because it seemed like they were getting misdirections enough and they were so off balance that I didn't know how they would get back and come back. And I feel like at a certain point, what's up to my man Paul Cordova, biggest Jacksonville fan. We gotta get him 1 week for Jacksonville as a Joe the Fan joint. And there's more enterprise stories, but there's also personal stories with them.
He said, "Cop didn't see it. I didn't do it." I agree.
But back to it, it's like that game. I struggled early on, but what I did was there was this voice number 22 probably in my head. He was like, let's just cut everything off. Like, let's take all the outside factors out. So let's not go to your command center post where everybody comments on every play. It's like instant fan reaction. Like, stop talking to you, even though it wasn't you, it was Delonte that kept saying peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. So he kept saying it and I kept hearing it. So finally I was like, you know what? I gotta listen to that. Peaks and valleys. In his world, it's peaks and valleys. In my world, because of training day, it's smiles and cries. You know what I'm saying? We gotta measure the smiles and cries. So I was like, all right, let's go ahead.
Well, in my generation, it was your guns and your butter. Go ahead.
So seriously, it was just like I started watching, and I don't know if Eric's still on here, but he's about to lose it when I say this. But I felt like Sam at a point in this ball game didn't go for the profit. He didn't take the check downs. He didn't look for I think there were some situations where he held the ball too long, and if he could have, he should have taken the outlet. He should have taken the check down and gotten the 5 yards off of that, and we kept the ball moving. But I think the one thing that is encouraging to me about this team is we constantly move the football. Like, there's not many 3 and outs. There's a couple here and there, but if we get a 3 and out, it's mostly because we made a mistake. It's not because the offense didn't execute. So that's the encouraging sign. So when we got down the stretch and they got into 21-11, I was good. The only problem I had was I was streaming the game. So on that 2-minute drive at the end, it froze up on me on like when the tackle that kept Wilson inbounds. So I just got the thing running. And then I could hear in the 2 houses next to us, everybody moaning and groaning and talking. And I'm like, And then my godmother comes to talk to me about the game. I'm like, I can't hear you. No, la 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 la, because I'm just catching up. So of course I see the Hail Mary, and then I see everything else. So yeah, at that point it was like, all right, winner, chicken dinner. And I didn't care about the past infringement that wasn't called because that's it. Go ahead, man.
First, Perry giving us an update. Tied at 63, Mystics D tightened up. Now he another update timeout. Mystics up by 4. Ooh, staying alive. And Paul says, Eric Bieniemy, ding, ding, ding. I think that's the difference of what it is.
I think you have better play calling and layered play calling.
Yeah.
So like, I think at times Scott last year called a screen because that was the next play up. I think Eric Bieniemy, especially this week, like the way he called and timed the screens, it was perfect. And my only issue was we were a Sadiq Charles clip of Sam Cosmi away from a touchdown.
That should have been 6.
Yep.
And I know Ross is saying he wanted to look at the all 22s when they released. But if they were out in front and it was 2 people there, hands on them, gone. That's 6. But I will say this. This doesn't look like a normal Ron Rivera team where they start out sluggish, slow, and then all of a sudden they come back in a frenzy. No. This was slow. This is a slow build.
Yeah, they kept chopping wood.
Right. And it slow build into a crescendo, and that crescendo was so loud. You know, not only did they come back from 21-3 down, they put up 35 points. So you were down 21-3 and you tied up. Then you go up 28-21. Damn. Y'all really moving this thing. Like, we don't normally come back like that. Right. And it's just, I'll say this. Jack Del Rio called a brilliant defense. And I was looking at him on the sideline. I said, somebody looked like they're coaching for their job.
I don't know if it's that. I think, honestly, he is so comfortable because of the talent he has on the field. Especially, and we giving out flowers. Cam Curl gets one of the biggest bouquets because Cam Curl, week in, week out, probably unheralded. I don't know if he was in the NFL top 100, but he should have been if he wasn't. Even if you throw him in at 89, the kid is the centerpiece of all of this. And KG, you know what? You and I, we were kind of going back and forth on the message thing, and you were talking about the safety coming up. So what I saw on that play action where they scored on the deep post, yes, the safety on the play side took the cookies, and he stepped up. But the backside safety, he has no responsibility short. So I felt like he should have carried the receiver through the post. Now, that's a tough read. That's a tough job when the guy's running away from you for you to keep up with him. But that was my only thing I was saying on that play was play side safety stepped up instead of dropping and getting to the deepest point. But he wouldn't have seen that because it was so far out of his vision.
Here's the problem with that. And I love safety play. I remember the first time switching from corner to safety, and I did something like that, trying to come up and help. The fire that was spit at me about why are you here? Why are you up here? Nobody should be behind you. That's why you're the deep safety. Nobody should ever be behind you. If anybody gets behind you, you fail.
So, shameless plug. ESPN NFL matchup, one of the best shows on TV. It was ironic, and this is why I'll explain my reaction to you when we were talking about it. Was there was a play, I forgot the game that they were covering, but they had a matchup beater, and the matchup beater was literally taking the play side safety and making them bite up and the backside safety being one-on-one with the post. So when I saw the play on the game, it was like muscle memory. I remember seeing that play earlier. So I think ESPN NFL matchup comes on at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the mornings. I would set my DVR if I was you guys. If you really like the ins and out of football, because they had some breakdowns, and like this weekend, I saw a lot of what they were talking about play out. So let's talk about Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
What are you seeing? What do you think?
I'm seeing development.
Okay.
I'm seeing a guy that's he knows he is Kenny Rogers, the gambler. He knows when to hold 'em,
Knows when
to fold 'em, knows when to walk away, knows when to run. He never counts his money while he's sitting at the table. All that's him. Because if you notice, when he gets in trouble, he got some moves. He dips out of some things. He had one play, and I said, you know what? He kind of reminded me of Kenny Stabler with that. He just kind of stood in the pocket. He was standing still, no moving of his feet. He was just like this. Then he's like, oh shit, I'm playing the game. And he kind of moved around out of the pocket and delivered a strike. I bet I would love to just kind of defend a receiver. I bet when he throws the ball, you can hear it cut air. But it's not that hard ass cutting air where it hits your hand and it sting. It's just cutting air because it's coming so fast, but it's so much touch on it. It just settles into your hands and you just like, all right, let's go.
It's a
yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
So when I watch him throw the football, I love it. I love everything about it because there was I think it was a third down. He's staring down the barrel. He steps up in the pocket, and there's literally a linebacker coming right to his chest. He throws an in cut about 15 yards downfield to get us the first down, and he eats that to his chest. The throw to Terry in the end zone, the throw to John Bates. And it's ironic. So here's the thing that I love about this kid. So last week, if you remember, we were in a 2-minute situation going into the half, and he threw Samuels on like a corner route with a perfect throw, pretty throw. And that got us in the field goal position. And then this week we turn around and he throws Bates into field position. And I don't care how much of a Heineke lover you are, Heineke can't make either one of those two throws. And he definitely can't make the throw the way he did to Terry McLaurin. And that's not Heineke hate. That's just the truth. That is so much the truth. Now, the other thing I like about the kid is he likes going for broke. The only problem is he got to get to a point where he got to take the profit over the gamble. And I mean, that's ironic coming from me. And again, like I said, if E Wills is on here, he gonna have jokes. But I'm just telling you, you gotta take the profit sometimes.
Somebody said he holds the ball too long.
He does at times. So, but then we gotta. And I don't mean to cut you off, but as a QB, when you learn in a system, sometimes you're thinking the route tree instead of seeing the route tree. If that makes sense. So sometimes you're thinking, all right, I got a post on this side, and you're seeing the post, but then somebody got to fall on your receiver, because if he's not busting his ass on the post, then you're left out in a lark.
I'm not saying he's a Statue of Liberty, but he actually moves around in the pocket pretty well. If you compare him to any other mobile quarterback, and I'm not saying he's like Jalen Hurts mobile, but he gets out and he knows how to get down. He was masterful Sunday. And he doesn't take many gambles, but damn it, I love the way he played against Dallas last year. And I said, a summer to work, we're gonna see the real him. And we are, you know, and the fact that his dad's a coach and they were talking about his dad and everything, and I'm like, yeah, this is where it's at. I like it. I'm not gonna say, oh man, we got ourselves a franchise quarterback. I'm not gonna say that. I gotta sit back and watch this.
No, but I think that comes with the hope. Like you have something that you can build on.
Yes,
it's not, and I think as long as this team, this franchise is patient. Again, my original thought process coming into the season was the worst case scenario. You walk out of this season with at least knowing that you have a backup quarterback if you don't have a starter. And I think he's shown that he's every bit of a starter. And then you might need to get somebody in here that back him up to just because he likes to take his chances. He likes to be a little greedy. I mean, he's still in his early 20s, so he thinks he's invincible. So he takes a couple hits that he probably shouldn't take. But when I watch this kid go through everything, I have no fear. Like I worry about nothing with this guy because I feel like he's gonna make the right decision. And if he doesn't make the right decision and it's the wrong decision, he's gonna put enough English on the football that it's gonna be the right decision.
So basically, you're saying when I'm right, I'm right, but when I'm wrong, I'm still right.
I'm right. Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to wrap this thing up because I'm looking at it. You are running late, aren't you, sir?
No, we got 9 o'clock. I already told her if I can get there, I'm gonna try to get there around 9.
Okay. So we got to switch over to IG. Check out. He's not the Midnight Ride over there.
Yeah.
He's the fat poet extraordinaire. So we got to check him out. Open mic. Definitely gonna see that.
I put it in the chat and I put it on my page. I think her Instagram, if I can find it, hold on.
Well, let me say this: 1:38 to go. Liberty up by 1. That's the check-in from Perry. I think I might have to go pop that on before I lay down.
No, you gotta do, man. Remember, this is a video, so even if you don't catch me live.
Oh no, I'm watching you live. That's why I got a phone and a TV.
I'm posting it, so it's whatever, man. And you gave me flowers early, and I gotta give you flowers because first I'm giving Dwayne flowers because Dwayne said this to me for years before we actually made it happen that we should meet and we should have a conversation about sports. And I think because of that, I think it's easy to sit in here and talk sports with you and BJ because even Delonte, Lady C, everybody. So I don't want nobody to feel left out. And I feel like I'm getting cheated because I haven't gotten Big Jim and the other guys in the group to like have a conversation with. But when I talk sports, I don't feel like I'm being cheated. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting opinions and I'm getting quality opinions. I'm getting guys that's going to challenge you. I'm getting guys that, and I love that. Like I'm getting people that I think I'm a historian, but then I talk to you and I'm like, well, damn, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. But the beauty of it is we weave in and out and we always talk and we always have this conversation every so often. We were like, yo, I don't know if we got enough show. And that's the show that's like an hour and 30 minutes. And then with the people that we interact with, they're so giving with their words. I got to give flowers to those. So if you in the comments tonight, if you watch this back and you've been in the comments, I have nothing but flowers to give you because you help us be better at this than what we are. And we're not bad. But I'm just saying, you help us get the show flowing. We go on different tangents because of you. We follow your lead sometimes because it's a different conversation that we wanted to have before. So, I give a big salute to you, BJ, Lady C, Delonte, everybody, man. Because I mean, I was almost an orphan. I was a guy that I was off the show that I started with, and some things happened, but that's nothing important because most of that was my fault. So now I found a home, and we make it do what it do.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So it's
Do I
8:58.
add backwards or do I do a turn forward? I don't know. But no, I got to join. Even if you don't catch it live, I'm sending it to you because you said something earlier tonight when you were talking about your wife. So it fits. So yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
Uh-oh. Perry said, Stewie with the mid-range. Come on, come back up now. Liberty up by 3. So
Okay. All
right,
right, man. I'm gonna get out.
We got to get about this thing. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully we'll be back on Thursday. Not a long show on Thursday. 44 seconds to go in the WNBA game. Thank you, Perry. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Xavier, for joining us. Now you can go to bed. Boss BJ, everybody, Eric Wheeler, everybody that commented tonight. Thank you for joining us. See y'all on Thursday, man. You know the motto. We don't do no overtime. We are out of here.
Peace.